today? How we all doing today? So I'm gonna just hop right into it and just let you know that there's a lot of things that I'm gonna be discussing in this live because I've been coming across a lot of stuff on TikTok about how some people believe that you can't manifest a specific person, or if you're manifesting a specific thing, you're limiting yourself. And then there's another person that I followed, a huge influencer on TikTok. He's a friend of mine, and he converted from spiritual practices and manifestation practices to Christianity and all that. Guys, I want to tell you something, and I'm gonna make this very, very fucking clear. Everything in your reality, everything you're saying, everything you're doing, everything is the reflection of whatever predominant state you're in involving the specific subject matter. Okay, let me say that again. Everything, all the actions you're taking, everything you're saying, yada yada yada, XYZ to infinity and beyond, is a projection, okay, a reflection of the predominant state of consciousness of being that you're in involving it. So, for example, there are people out there that'll be like, they'll quote passages from like the Bible and whatnot. They'll claim that Jesus Christ has made himself known to these people, right? And then there's people that will quote the Bible, like I just said, and then they'll go from like spiritual practices, manifestation practices to Christianity, blah, blah, blah. And then there's people that will claim that you can't manifest a specific person, blah, blah, blah. Guys, everybody is at their own state of consciousness, is in their own state of consciousness, okay? If people are at the state of consciousness in their lives where they legitimately believe that they can't manifest a specific person, that's fine. That's the state that they're in. I myself define that as being a limiting state to be in. But you do not have to dwell in that state, okay? Take me, for example. I'm in the state of consciousness where I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that manifesting specific things is not necessarily limiting. You don't need to just focus on manifesting specific feelings, and you absolutely can manifest a specific person. I've done it multiple times. I find it to be limiting if people are saying that, oh, you shouldn't be manifesting a specific thing because you're closing yourself off from better things, right? Or if people are claiming that you can't manifest specific things, right? You should only be manifesting the feeling, or you can only manifest the feeling. I find that to be very limiting because if I had a specific desires for something, to experience something specific, right? Like getting a specific video game, I'm gonna just manifest the feeling of getting that game? No, I have a desire to get that specific game. I'm gonna manifest that specific game, and it's no different for anything else. My point of saying this is that you're hearing these people, you're listening to these people, don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling. But it's not about just the feeling, and that's the point I'm trying to say. You can manifest specific things, okay? You wouldn't have the desire of a specific thing if it wasn't meant for you in some way, shape, or form, for the most part, to experience. And notice how I said for the most part, because there are certain things I do believe that we aren't necessarily meant to experience, such as having the idea or the desire to harm another human being. But, like, if I have a desire to get a specific type of coffee, I'm not going to go off and just manifest the specific feeling. No, I'm going to manifest maybe even both. And I think that's what it comes down to, is people that claim that you can't manifest a specific person, they're closing themselves off. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion, is they're closing themselves off, they're limiting themselves. People that claim that you can only and should only focus on the specific feeling are also closing themselves off, because you can focus on both. You can focus on the specific thing and the feeling of having that thing at the same fucking time, but these people don't understand that. I don't think they're really at that level. And as far as the Christianity people, like going from spiritual practices, that's a good song. That's a really good song. I really, really like that song. Journey was I believe that what's his name? Steve Perry was a great manifestation related person. Was a manifester, you know what I'm saying? He probably didn't identify himself in that way, but I do believe that he was a great. That whole song, "Don't Stop Believing," is a big manifestation analogy, in my opinion. But anyways, getting back on track. So there's people that will go, I love you, you're amazing, so are you. There's people that will go from like spiritual practices to claiming that they can't manifest anymore. You too, Ben. I appreciate you, 369. Claiming that they can't manifest anymore, they stop manifesting. I'm like, number one, you can't stop manifesting, okay? You're always manifesting. And number one. And number two is, it goes back to what I was saying about the states of consciousness. These people are in the state of consciousness where they believe, think, feel, assume that they've been contacted by Christ. Christ has been revealed to them. There's no going back. They can't manifest, and they're not willing to manifest anymore. That's the state of consciousness that they're in. You're at 369 upload, so I had to. Nah, I appreciate that. But that's the state of consciousness they are in. But you do not have to be in that state. Pop in here. It was meant to be. That's right. That's right. You do not have to be in that state of consciousness if you do not want to. There are infinite realities. There are infinite possibilities. There are infinite, ways of going about things. There is no one absolute set way. And the whole ideology of Christ revealing himself to you, and that's like the end-all, be-all, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, Christ, how I feel, because I've had that so-called spiritual awakening where Christ has supposedly revealed himself to me. And what this inner source revealed to me is that I amness, awareness, is everything. That's the truth that's been bestowed upon me so far throughout my journey. Other people literally claim that Christ himself has revealed himself to them. Excuse me. Sorry, I can't talk today. But it doesn't really matter. Everybody, like I said, is in their own state of consciousness. Okay? Each state of consciousness has its own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, expectations, assumptions, and so on. You're always manifesting. You can't turn it off, okay? Because people will also be like, you can't manifest if it goes against God's will, plan, or whatever. Yes, you can, because God is not separate of you. And God would not be bestowing the desire upon you if you weren't able to access it and manifest it. Okay? So there's a lot of, in my opinion, misconceptions, and I don't think this whole state nonsense gets talked about enough. The fact is that whatever state you're in, okay, is basically what you're going to end up manifesting. Okay, we have predominant states across every area of our lives. Okay, so if you're in the state of consciousness where you think, feel, believe, assume, expect, etc., that you can't manifest specific things or that you can't manifest specific people, you probably won't be able to manifest consciously specific people or specific things. You're always just going to be manifesting generalized things. But even that is a little iffy, because even if you receive a cup of coffee or a free cup of coffee, that still involves another person, a specific person. But I guess what I'm saying more so is if you're in that state of consciousness, you're going to have a real difficult time with consciously manifesting a specific thing if you so choose to indulge that. Because you're literally, purely, dominantly in the state of consciousness where you think, feel, believe, assume, etc., that you cannot manifest a specific thing or a specific person. Okay? I made a video on TikTok where I did suggest that if someone is preaching to you, someone that is teaching you how to manifest, right? And they're saying to you, you can't manifest specific people of that nature. I do suggest, and I said this in that video, that you do not follow these people when it comes to manifesting specific things or specific people. Because they themselves aren't even in this state of consciousness where they fucking believe that. There's so many different types of manifestors out there, man. I've come across them all. You got the people that believe you can't manifest a specific person. You got the people that believe you can. You got the people that believe that you can only manifest a specific feeling and that's all you should be doing. You got the people that believe and know that you can manifest the specific thing and the feeling. Alright? And then you got the people that believe that manifesting a specific person is tampering on free will. Then you got the people that understand that everybody's just self-pushed out and there is no free will other than the free will you have in your reality. There's so many different types of manifestors. There's so many belief systems out there. There's so many thought processes. You have to be willing to decide what path you're going to pursue. You got to be willing to decide what state of consciousness you'd like to enter. Remember, each state has its own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, expectations, and so on. It's up to you. Nobody else is going to be able to decide that for you. Okay? So, I'm going to hop up out of here, guys. A little short live. I know I said I was going to talk about a bunch of things. Actually, you know what? I'll stick around for a few minutes longer because I really want to talk about self-concept. So, let's clarify what self-concept is. And here's the thing. You have different self-concepts within every area of your life, number one. And number two, your self-concept is nothing more than everything that is you. Who you identify yourself to be, who you believe yourself to be, what you believe to be true about your partner, about your family, what you believe to be true about the world, what you assume to be true and expect, etc. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world, right? Your self-concept is everything that is you. It's a massive accumulation of everything that is you. So, the way I like to think about it is when you change your self-concept, you are actually changing your state of being. I kind of feel like that self-concept and state of consciousness, state of beings are kind of the same thing or are on similar footing. So every self-concept has its own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, expectations, etc. As in the same notion, every state of consciousness has its own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, expectations, etc. So when you start working on yourself, right? When you start working on yourself, and sorry, there was a fly. When you start working on yourself and you start doing this inner work, you're going to begin to feel differently, think differently, assume differently, expect differently. And that's because I believe you have changed your consciousness. You've changed your state of being. You know what I'm saying? So, just keep that in mind going forward. Now, if you want to start changing your self-concept effectively, you should be getting clear about who you want to be, specifically inside, how you'd want to feel about yourself, and what you'd like to experience going forward involving this newfound healthy version of yourself. You should be getting clear about all that. From there, upon gaining that deep clarity, it's just a matter of utilizing the focus work tools like visualization, scripting, etc., to align yourself to the version of yourself that knows it's done, that knows that you are that version now. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the thing. Alright? I'm going to hop up out of here. I'm probably going to go live on Instagram. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you desire a session, I'm offering that 45-minute coaching call for $80. Upon purchase, you're going to get 5-day email coaching for free. Or you could do an hour call for $100 and get the 5-day for free. It's up to you. Alright, other than that, you guys have a beautiful, safe day. And replay this live. There's a lot of information. Thank you for your energy, frequency, and vibration. Have a blessed day. Yeah, you too. Take care, y'all.